2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the beat back.
Cinema
and the QB999 here with another Magic the Gathering review.
And this time we're talking about the latest premium set known as Commander.
Now, some history on this. There's been a playstyle that's been around for, I don't know, a long time, but apparently
I think it was created by players.
It's called Elder Hydreigon. Basically what you do is you take a creature card, you make that card your commander of your deck. Your deck has to have 100 cards in it.
Mm-hmm.
You were restricted to one duplicate of each card, so you can only have one of each card in your deck.
And the colors have to match the commander.
And you can only have those colors. Any card that has a color that does not share one with your commander, you can't have it.
Yeah.
Even if the creature itself has only an ability that has a mana cost that doesn't associate with your commander, you can't have it.
So it's like if your commander is black and you were to use the Desolation Angel, which has a white activated ability, you couldn't use that card.
No. And then, so you start out with 40 life, and you lose by getting to 0, but you can also lose by having the commander come into play in dealing 21 damage to you.
Yep.
The way the commander works, or here, you can go.
Yeah, and the way the commander works is when the commander dies, it goes back to the commander zone. So your commander's not in your deck, it's outside. And you can cast it at any time. And if it were to, it can still be returned to your hand, it can still be returned to your deck. But if it were to die, it goes to the commander zone, and you have to pay an additional 2 mana in order to play it again.
So every single time your commander dies, it costs two more each and every time. So you could take a 3-costing creature that will eventually turn into like a 10-costing creature.
Mm-hmm.
So
the latest premium set, I got 2 of the decks out of the 5.
Well, actually what happened was, so Wizards took that idea and basically made an actual deck series out of it.
Yeah, they did a premium set for it. Because this is, Elder Hydreigon was always really popular. So now it's officially called Commander.
So they made an official set specific for this playstyle. It goes along with Arch Enemy and Plains Chase because it has the oversized cards. So what they did was that they came out with 5 premium decks, all based off of this set. Now,
the 2 I got was Political Puppets and Counterpunch. The 3 I need to get is Heavenly Inferno, Mere Mastery, and Devourer for Power.
And the ones I got were none. Because this comes to my first problem with the set. It is insanely popular. Mostly because they went the little extra mile and actually put brand new cards into the set.
Yeah, each deck has 15 new cards, all of which are standard legal.
So you have, of course, a lot of the pro players going up and buying 4 copies of each of these decks. So whenever I've gone to like our card store that we like to go to, always sold out.
Yeah, because not only do people want like 4 of each one, they want all 5 of them as well.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good cards in these decks as well. A lot of old good rares like Propaganda and whatnot.
Now, also because of the wide variance of cards in these decks, because you can only have 1 of each, there's some pretty rare cards in here, which also brings up the price of buying these decks.
I got each one of these $32, so $64 just to get 2 decks.
So now, imagine someone buying 20 of these.
And that's cheap. Because some places are jacking up the prices because Wizards of the Coast under manufactured these. I think they severely underestimated how much
people would want these.
How much people really want these. So over the weekend I went to the Los Angeles Anime Expo and I saw some there for $40. I didn't have enough money to get them. And I imagine some other places like eBay, they're probably going for like 50. So 60 at the most.
So far, it's too bad about this set that it's hard to find, and it's a little more expensive than a lot of the other sets that have come.
Because I don't think Arch Enemy or Plane Chase were $32.
Because those ones you get a reasonably sized deck that have a lot of
it's like about
copies of the same card, so it's not. So yeah, they don't charge as much for those.
Yeah.
So yeah, hard to get. A little more expensive, but is it worth it?
I'd say so, because, for one, if you're like, you don't care at all about playing Commander, you get a lot of bang for your buck. You get 100 cards.
You still get a lot of good cards, though.
And you're getting one of each card. So if there's, like, particular rares that you're looking for, say, like what I mentioned before, Propaganda, which is a card that sells online for $40 to $50, and if you really need that card, well, you just buy the Political Puppets deck, and then you got it.
Another thing is that you say you want to get these new creature cards, like the oversized ones, but you don't want them oversized. That's fine. They come in the regular size cards version too.
Yeah. So if you just want like the new cards, which a lot of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
At least the ones I think that are new. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
It's hard to tell with some of these.
Which is the reprint and which is the new. You get a lot of good cards with these, so it is worth. It is worth it.
Now, these are not really meant for one-on-one. You can do it. We just tried it.
Yeah, we did 2 games.
But really, these are meant for multiplayer games.
So 3 to 6 players is the suggested how many players you should have. It's also not like you can't make a Commander deck as well.
It's one of those things where you don't need to buy these decks in order to play Commander. You just make your own.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you're not getting if you make your own is the oversized cards, but...
You know what, that's just for show.
I'm kind of just saying, yeah, these are really just for show.
That's just so you can unzip your pants to your friends and whip it out and show, like, here, I got oversized.
I got oversized, and... Do you really need these? Probably not, but... I don't know, it's something nice to have, I guess.
So really, it's all up to you. If you either want to buy these decks to get you started, or just go ahead and make your own Commander deck. You can do it either way. If you have the money to spare, and if you can find them, we would suggest going with these.
This is my hand. This is my playing hand.
Now, if you really want to go all out, what you do is you play Commander with the oversized decks while playing against an arch enemy with Planes Chase out.
Yeah, that's like my goal in life now, is that I want to have a 5-player game where everybody has one of each of these decks with their oversized cards while playing Plane Chase, as well as playing Arch Enemy.
So any set with an oversized card in it, we're going to be playing with.
It would be epic. Okay, now we got to roll for if we're plane chasing. Oh, I'm using my Arch Enemy scene cards. Oh, I play with my Commander. I guess the Arch Enemy would have to be like at 50 or 80 life in that scenario.
Probably.
Since everybody's at 40.
So overall, there's some bad things about this set. Just the fact that it's hard to find.
Hard to find and a little pricey, on the pricey range.
Because I really look forward to trying to get one of these cards, but now I can't. It's either I gotta wait a while until our store restocks and hope that they don't sell out again.
Probably the best thing to do if you're a local comic book store owner, if you know him, see if he can hold them for you.
Try and get a hold.
Because that's what I did. I said, if you can hold me 1 or 2 of these, I'll come in and I'll pick them up the day you get them. And that's exactly what I did. I wasn't happy to spend $64, but yeah. So I guess now we can talk about the decks themselves and what we think about them.
Well, really, the one I did want to get that he got was the Political Puppets, because it's my style. It's really all about control. And
well, if you get a one I don't have, I'll trade you that one for the one for the other one.
Because a lot of the cards in here do have to do with exchanging control and just trying to control the battlefield.
Another thing, the suggested strategy for it is, and this is really made for a multiplayer game, is that you're giving things to your friends.
Yeah.
So, like, be like, oh, if you don't attack me, I'll give you lives. Or if you don't attack me, I'll let you draw cards with me.
Like one of the
commanders.
One of the commanders is this guy, and his ability is that he lets you give things to your opponents.
Yeah.
And by doing that, he gets you more cards and extra life too. But also, it's kind of like you're playing like a politician. You're trying to make friends with your enemies, so then you can backstab them later on.
So if you're like in a 3-player game, it's like you try to make friends with one to team up on the other guy. Then you can duke it out. Counter Punch, it's black, green, white, and this one seems to be just get out big creatures, or indirectly destroy creatures of spells. I really didn't quite get the Counter Punch.
That's kind of
this.
That is kind of hard because with these decks being so large and only able to have one card or one copy of each card in a deck, it sometimes is hard to get the point of the deck across.
I mean, political puppets, you kind of get that. With Counter Punch, I don't know how this is exactly counter-punching.
But then again, we only did play 2 games, so maybe we used at most a third of each deck.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the first game we played, I lost pretty quickly because of that dragon you played. The second game lasted longer, and I got to play more cards. Probably the Counterpunch one is, like, the least impressive, maybe.
But like I said, we've only been able to play with the 2.
Yeah, we've only played one game. I would have loved to come in front of this camera and say, yeah, we did a 5-player game, and this
with
is how
all the decks.
This is how each deck works, and this is the best of the decks, and this is the strategies for each decks.
But
I would have loved to have done that, but
with Magic the Gathering, you learn sometimes things just don't go the way you want it.
Yeah, sometimes, Wizards of the Coast screws things over. Much like from the Vault set and the debacle that was.
So, like I said, if you want to, pick it up, or at the very least, just try making your own commander deck. That way you can try and get into this style of play. Because it is fun, it's something new to try. We would recommend it.
I recommend it. If anything, you can get a deck of 100 cards to scrounge through and upgrade your current decks. Or if you just want a new way to play with your friends, hey, this is a perfect setup right here.
Yeah. So anyway, we do have Magic 2012 to look forward to pretty soon.
The whole pre-release is almost out. So as soon as we get the whole set, you will come back in front of the camera and say...
Although, the set's so far looking pretty good.
I will say I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm definitely going to buy this set.
I'm going to try my luck at the pre-release tournament this coming weekend, so wish me luck with that.
I just want the promo card, so I'm doing first round drop to get my stuff.
Yeah, usually I don't have to drop to get last. That just shows off my... But then again, I'm a casual player, so what the fuck do I know? I don't know what I'm doing.
I have a job, so I can't take the day off.
So anyway, that's our review of the Commander set. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Magic Hour, because, we love doing these videos.
Yeah.
Because Magic the Gathering, probably one of our most favorite pastimes, other than video games. God, we're nerds.
Yeah, and if you guys ever want to, ask for requests on certain sets and what we think of them.
Sets, cards, decks, whatever.
Just post a comment in the
Post
page.
a comment, message us. I usually try and get back to people whenever they message us or comment to us. So
it's his web zone, not mine, so I usually don't comment too often. Sorry.
So otherwise, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and as always, if you guys don't like it, okay.